and the dare. So we're super, super excited. Just going live over here on Facebook right now. Super excited about getting this going and talking about this because this is actually really, really cool thing close to my heart as well for today. So I'm actually really excited.
So, and my brain is just like going wild of like different ways that I can do this and spin it. And so I'm super excited about today.
So as always, starting off, thank you guys so much for showing up. Karen, Bill, good to see your face. Bill, Jamie, Debbie. I might butcher your name. Kuani, is that right? Kuani. Yeah. Sorry.
You're still on silent.
Mildred. That's easier. Mildred's easier. Thank you. Sorry about that. We have some people over on Facebook. Brandy, Latria, Tracy, Dominic, Kim. So good to see you guys. Well, just getting started. We're okay to get started. Just a quick little things to review with some people. As always, we start off with some wins, which we like to always focus on wins first and then focus on the gap of where we're wanting to go. So wins are always awesome. Focusing on following up from yesterday's homework or any homework we're doing and any win. And also always remember that whenever we give dares or homework assignments to everybody every single day, but also along with that, we have our finding DMO. So there's 5 C's. There's commenting, creating content, connecting, converting, and celebrating every single time. So if we have any celebrating is also a big win, a big thing that if we don't have, might have like maybe a hater or something's not going as well, always remember the negativity, the no dance, the no dance, the no dance. So always remember the negativity dance. So
it doesn't matter. It's just to celebrate. And so if it's a good win or there's no bad experiences, there's only learning experiences. Yep. So it's just, okay, this happened. And what's good about the situation is this.
Yep. Always focusing on that. So going in with the wins. Debbie, okay, I'll do a win. Debbie, we would love to hear it.
Okay, unmuted. All right. So I did.
You're not on.
Hold on one second. Sorry, Debbie. I have not been able to hear anybody. I apologize. Okay, maybe there we go. Sorry.
Okay.
That was on me.
So since you picked on me yesterday, I went ahead and I didn't do it till this morning. But that's the thing. Oh, I almost swept the wrong finger. The finger dare. Yeah. I put it on a reel this morning, and I put I put a sticker glasses over my face because I don't have my makeup on or whatever. I have gotten so far this morning, and I talked and I said, hey, if you're going, if you want to go somewhere, if you had one place, where would you want to go? And I was being silly. Right now I have 143 views, and this is so like in 2 hours.
Holy cow.
And my followers have increased 3 since yesterday.
No way.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So there you go.
Awesome.
All right.
That's super awesome.
Yeah, it's funny. It was fun to do. Now I posted it on Instagram, but I did more of a just kind of a normal one. So TikTok. I think I've done it all. But anyway, so we'll see how it goes. But this morning's been pretty cool.
That's awesome. Remember that this is just a tactic and a tool. The goal and the principle and the strategy is to find something that will help people to stop. So my mom used to do back in the day when she used to do lives with selling, she used to have these crazy hats and all these crazy like things that she used to wear.
She still does.
She still does. I think she's tamed down versus what she used to do. But
she dressed up in costumes.
Yeah, she dressed in costumes. She had like a big old like the fish head thing.
She still has that.
Crazy things that she used to do. That was just like a way for someone to stop. And that's the point of it, is how can I get someone to stop scrolling? Stop the scroll. Awesome. Let's see. I think I saw Sheila is doing awesome. My visibility on both my pages, personal and business page, has increased a lot. Awesome, Sheila. So good to hear. Carlinda said, I posted the finger on a real FB page as a picture on my business page. I got a little likes, but no comments. That's okay. It's good practice.
And you still got likes. So that's good. It's trial and error. And it's just having fun. It's getting you out of your comfort zone.
And it's a good thing to realize with that as like review to see like, okay, with that, was it my question that I asked that people didn't comment? Was it the number of people that actually viewed it? Like, what was it? Because when we give an easier like call to action, we can get more engagement. But if it's a harder question for people to answer, we'll get less engagement or questions, comments. Josetta, great win. Met up with that post yesterday. Awesome.
Hey, Sus.
Carlinda said, I received 203 views on the reel. Awesome, awesome, you
Awesome.
guys. Jamie's got one for us too.
So I love the scripts, and I did the video challenge to send out to people, and I got 4 yeses and 3 like really thinking about it to possibly join my team. So I'm working with that.
That's amazing.
So awesome.
So that was Friday's challenge. So, okay. Can I ask how many did you send out? Because again, it's kind of a numbers game that here, and you'll kind of know this here. If I sent out 25 videos and I got one to come back, it's like 25 to 1, where you're not going to be, I'm not picking on you, where if you only send out 10, I don't care. But it's just trying to help with people hearing this, because I think that's awesome.
I did do 20. And a lot of them were they just looked at it. But then the others are like, you know what? They would respond like, no, I have never even thought about doing any of this, so that was kind of the catcher for me. Has been working lately, is like, no, actually, I have never even thought of this. And so I've been kind of going with that and seeing where they're at and what they like to do. My biggest obstacle I feel is the lives. So I'm kind of working on trying to get them to understand that they don't have to go live in order to do this.
Gotcha. Yeah. And that could be a very good, I've heard in the sales process that I've learned is like fact finding. Fact finding is huge. Like when you're in the sales process, just like figure out what their objections and their questions are. And if you see that a lot, you can, like, if that's a normal thing that people talk about, it's like, hey, you guys, you don't have to go live all the time. There's plenty of other ways to go live. The reason why live is nice is because of X, Y, and Z, right?
But I think, so I'm going to go back on that a little bit, because as you guys know, going live, like you're in your house, you don't have to pay for a booth fee, you don't have to pack up your stuff. It's easier and it's cheaper. But there was a time that I refused to go live. I was very, 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 very insecure. I felt like I was fat and ugly, and I refused to show my face on a live. And so that's where I tell people, here, we'll do baby steps. I understand what you're going through because I've been there before, and it's scary. It's frustrating. It's like, I don't want to do this. And so it's okay. And so I give them options. There's messenger parties. There's a messenger. Somebody talked about the messenger group. There's just posting an album. There's posting pictures. And then I tell them, just do a flash sale. Don't even show your face. Turn the camera around and do that. So give them options that here, you'll get all these trainings, and it takes time and it takes work, but you don't have to go live to show your face if that is not something that you feel comfortable doing.
Yeah. The goal we've heard with Eric Worre is the goal is to get them to make money as quickly as they can in the first month, because they stay longer and they're willing to stay longer. Because just like us, if we join something and I didn't make money in the first month, it's kind of like, did I make the right decision? Or if I made money, it's like, wow, yeah, I made the right decision. Okay. And we want them to just keep staying longer and longer until they're willing to do more things and get through those little hurdles that pop up, because no business is perfect. There's going to be ups and downs. And so it just gets them to stay longer and stick in it longer. And
I would just give them those ideas that, oh, there's a bling bag. Tell them to buy a bling bag from the back office. And there's people that I get messages constantly of, I sold 4 pieces. I sold 10 pieces while I was at the grocery store.
Yeah, make some easy wins for them. Open box party. That's awesome. Sweet. We'll go with Karen. I know your hand was up. Do you still want to say something, Karen, before we get into the training?
I was just going to say really quickly, like, to stick with it, because I know I messaged well over 100 people this month, well over 100 people with no yeses until yesterday. And I got 4 yeses. So like, just stick with it. That's all I wanted to say.
Love it. Love it. And I think that's like understanding your why and why you're doing it. Because sometimes if we don't have like a why or a purpose behind what we're doing, it's easy to, once we get some opposition in whatever we do, it's easy to just say, oh, is this even worth it? nah, I don't want to do this anymore, you know? So having a strong why. And so we're going to get into today's training today. So basically it's all around this idea of a vulnerability post, which is super, super awesome. I love, there's power in vulnerability. I love Brene Brown. If you guys ever know Brene Brown, she has a lot of stuff on vulnerability. But she basically, this idea of Frazer got on and talked about his story and how, where he came from with network marketing and how he was being successful in network marketing, how he stepped away and just started giving content on social media people. And then through this like 3-week stretch, he started getting a lot of hate, and it started getting to him. And it like finally started getting to him where he finally just like had this live, didn't want to do it, finally forced himself to do this live in his car in this like Walmart type thing over in the UK, because he's from England. And he just like broke down on this live as he was talking about people, and this like started crying in front of a lot of people, was getting a lot of people on there and just talking about how like it was getting to him. And he was vulnerable. But before, he thought by him telling his story about how it was getting to him, it felt like he was weak and he didn't want to tell people. And I think that's a lot of what we feel like in life, that like, hey, I don't want to be vulnerable. And the reason vulnerability is so tricky is because we don't know if people are going to accept us or reject us. And it's scary. And so we just kind of play it safe and be like, I'm not going to be vulnerable. Okay. So by him being vulnerable, he started realizing that there was a lot more support out there on his side than the haters. And the haters just went away. And after that live that he did, he got like over 1,000 like texts and emails and messages, all these people that were like loving on him and supporting him.
And so, and what he said is, since he started getting a few haters, then that's all he focused on was the haters. He wasn't focusing on the people that truly loved him and that were his supporters. And so he said the dare goes with today is being vulnerable, being relatable. And so do you want to go into what the dare is?
It So just one last thing with that is he talks about is your authenticity is your superpower. It is really like your vulnerability and your sincerity. People will see it through your posts. Okay. So the dare is find a picture of you. He said like 5 to 10 years ago, or like 1, 3, 5 years ago, of you kind of at not at a hard spot in your life. Okay. And so he basically just focused on a picture post right now. And you can go live later and tell your story later if you want. But basically the dare is to find a photo of you 5 to 10 years ago where you.
And it can even be 3 years ago.
Yep.
And it's just because he said over time, especially doing like your own business, you guys are growing. And so you're going to look different now than you did 3, 5, 10 years ago, because you are growing. It's not just, he said, you are going to look way better because you have new energy, you have growth, you have a different environment. And so I hold myself a lot differently, and I present myself a lot differently than I did a year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. So I'm a very different person because I have been doing this business, because I've been doing self-growth and everything. And so that's where it's looking at it, that you guys are here, you guys are growing in so many different ways. And so look at, and if you don't have a picture where he said, try to do one from in the past, but if not, if you really can't find one, then you can do a picture of yourself right now, just happy. And you can say, oh my gosh, look at me now. I cannot believe 3 years ago, this is, or I can't believe where I'm at. What did he say? I can't believe that this is me today, 3 or 5 or 10 years ago. This was not me at all. And I was struggling with X, Y, and Z.
So when you do this post, focus on, we've talked about this idea of the hook, story, and offer. So find a way to hook. So a good little thing that we've seen is if you find a picture in the past is, I cannot believe this was me X amount of years ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, right? And it could be a picture of you, again, if you're focusing on the past picture of you with like that looked a little bit less energy, not as like put together, find something that like you can find a difference in where you're at now versus then.
And he said why older pictures are better, because that gets you to stop. Like if you're scrolling through your feed and you see like a picture of somebody that's like, that doesn't look like them, what are they doing? Or they don't look happy. It will, like, you tend to stop.
Yep. And even that, just like that hook, that top little title of the description, I cannot believe this was me 5 years ago. And then you can kind of say, you can kind of go into your story. The story is, hey, most people didn't know that I felt like this, or this is where I was at in my life. I felt like I was overweight. I felt like I was low energy. I felt like I didn't have any confidence. I felt like I was, I was struggling with this, and this. Most people didn't know. I mean, this is something bold about me. Like, hey, 5 years ago, most people didn't know that I was dealing with addiction, right? So it's this idea that being vulnerable and letting people know where you're at and where you're at now. And then you kind of go into that. The next part of the story is like, hey, through my network marketing journey, you can kind of say, or through this last few years of network marketing and my personal development journey, I have learned to, or feel like this now. I've learned to, hey, finally feel like I don't have to be perfect.
Or you can say, I found something that I have gotten out of anxiety, or I've gotten out of depression, or I've been able to pay for things, for like whatever that is.
I found something that I'm passionate about again. I found something that brings me energy and that I love, that I'm not just dreading to do, right? So that's kind of the story. And something that he says is, normally when you have a success, don't just go to the success and tell about the success. Talk about the struggle first, and then you can go into the success, right?
So example, like you want me to give the example? There's two people, there's person A and person B. So if you see something that makes a post and it's like, oh my gosh, look, I won this crown, I'm so amazing, yay. Okay. Or if it was, hey, you guys, I just want you to know, the last couple of years has been such a struggle, and I dealt with this, and this. And I have found that, and through this journey, I was able to win this crown. Like, it just makes my heart so happy that I was recognized for this, but I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this amazing company I'm so proud to be a part of. If this is something that you are struggling with also, please comment below or message me that I could help you, to give you information of how to get through this same struggle, and you can kind of go through that. And that was just kind of on the fly, that again, you can play with the words, but it's just here, you're being real. People can tell the difference between if you're just saying something or if you really are being genuine, you're being authentic. And that's what you want to do, is like, this is what I've been through. This is how I've overcome it. And so you're doing a hook at the first, you're telling your story, and then you're giving a offer, or hey, next step, or hey, message down below, or message me to know more about how I got through this obstacle, or how I'm getting through this, or how I was able to change my life.
Yeah. Because I think people, this is even like, if you ever heard of the hero's 2 journeys, this is where, like, I know Disney and a lot of movies follow this like script of the hero's 2 journeys. And a lot of the time, very shortly put, you have this process of this hero, this origin story, and where they go, and they finally leave where they're at, and they go on this journey to find what they want. So for an example, something I love is Cars. Lightning McQueen, he wants the Piston Cup. You see that he doesn't really have any friends. He goes on this journey. He gets stuck in Radiator Springs. He wants the Piston Cup so bad, but at the very end, he learns all these little life lessons along the way. But right at the end, as he's about to win the Piston Cup, he stops at the finish line, backs up, and helps the other person push across the finish line, because it was his last year of racing. Right? People don't care about what people more relate to the transformation that happens rather than just the accomplishment. Meaning, when my mom tells her story, it's awesome when she says she goes from rags to riches and she got the 7-figure bling boss. But the really cool part of the story is that she learned to love her life through cancer. That's the feel good. That's what people want to hear. Not just like, yeah, that's super awesome, you made 7 figures. That's super awesome. But the feel goody is this. So even like, hey, if you did win the crown, super awesome. People love that. But what's cool is the relatability and the transformation that happened was like, hey, I learned that I can actually love myself. And I've struggled, for an example, if I can say this, that I, like, as a woman, I've struggled with my own inner beauty for my entire life. And I'm finally learning to like love myself and find myself beautiful. Right. So,
and you can go into it like me too, on the other side, that it's like, along this journey, I've been able to make money, that I've been able to put my kids into private lessons that they would have never had this opportunity to. And I am more than grateful for this. And so, yes, this is amazing, but I've been able to put gas in my car. I've been able to do X, Y, Z. What have you been able to do?
Right. So just wrapping up, very last thing is to do the post, do the dare. We'll get over to Jamie here in a sec. So the dare is to an authentic vulnerability post.
And it doesn't matter if it's just 1 paragraph, 3, 7, 5 pages,
yep,
whichever, but it's just being you and being real.
Yep. So it's that post, and as always, doing your finding DMO every single day. So Jamie, yes.
Sorry, silly question. So for the picture, does it have to be that long ago? Or what if it, like, for instance, for myself, I have done a huge change within this last year. My whole world was actually flipped upside down. So, so does it have to be that long ago?
No, it doesn't. You can definitely do it a year ago. You can do it 6 months ago.
And does it,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Does it matter on the photo? Does it have to be you smiling as well?
No, I would think as this type of vulnerability post, it's kind of more of you not in the best pose or best photo, right? Because to me, I'm even thinking about, I have a picture in my mind about 3 or 4 years ago where I felt like I was like, I let myself go. I was overweight. I had a beard, and just like my face, you can tell from my facial expression that I'm just like low energy and just like not in the happy place of my life, right? So whether that was a couple years ago, whether that was 6 months ago, whether that was a year ago, it doesn't matter. And find something that there's like a level of transformation that you felt like, hey, 3 months ago, I was dealing with this. 6 months ago, I was dealing with this. This is how I felt. And you find a picture of that, which was like lower energy. Try and find a picture that kind of emulates or shows that how you were feeling at that time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I had a picture in my mind that I took a long time ago. So it just kind of popped in. So I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want.
Yep.
This is your post.
Yeah.
It's giving you ideas. And as I'm thinking through this, you guys can do stuff that we've talked about from the past that you can even say, comment below if you've ever felt like this in your life or felt like this before. Because then you can go in, because you're going to have people that may comment on there that aren't your friends, that are just people that are just stalking you or watching you. So then you can go in, make sure you're friends with them, add them as a friend, if not, and then send them a message or just comment back on the thing and then send them a message. Just say, thanks for commenting on this. Tell me about your story, or tell me about when you went through this. And then that can start up that conversation with these people.
Yeah. Even like, as you go through the story, I can't believe I was here, a year ago. I cannot believe this is how I was feeling. Like, a lot of people don't know that this is how I was feeling. This is how I feel now through my journey. Hey, my mission now is to help women find their inner beauty and find financial security. If you're interested in learning more, comment change below, right? So some ideas, right? So customize this to you guys and how you guys feel. Okay. Any other questions that we can help with? Thank you so much, Jamie. Great question. Kimberly Lawson said, I have done this a couple weeks ago with my past, and it was amazing to see the response. Love it. Love it. Something Frazer says is authenticity is your superpower. Like, it really is. And I even believe that with Brene Brown. If you've ever followed her stuff, she taught, one of her books or lectures is the power of vulnerability. And man, like, there is power in vulnerability. And that when you connect to somebody on a vulnerable level, there is a next level of connection that you have with people.
And I think you step out, because I did one a year ago, that a year or two ago, and I don't cry. I'm different than mom. I do not cry. And I was in my car and I broke down because my daughter had some threats, and I just found out, and I was a wreck, and I just lost it. And the people that that were friends of mine on Facebook, they've never commented on anything. They've never said anything. Ran into one at the store and they're like, how's your daughter doing? I was like, when did you see that? Like, you never comment on stuff. And so it's amazing who might see it on the outside that it's like, oh, I can relate. Questions? Sorry, we have like 3 minutes, 2 minutes.
If not, we can wrap things up. Anybody else have one last little question or anything along along this route of vulnerability, how to set this up, any past questions from anything else? If not, we can wrap up a little bit early and we can see you guys tomorrow. Letting you guys know, one last little thing, actually. We are switching things up slightly. So about a week or two ago, Suze came on and she taught for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It was 2 weeks ago. So we have a couple other people here in Paparazzi that are part of the Accelerator program. And so they're watching these trainings with us. So we're going to start doing every Wednesday. Tomorrow, someone is going to, tomorrow's Wednesday,
I think
right?
Tanya's tomorrow.
Tomorrow is somebody, I know Thursday is Sue's for sure, but I think Tanya is Wednesday. So every Wednesday, you'll get to hear from Tanya, and then every Thursday you'll be able to hear from Sue's Poke. So we're super excited about that. We'll obviously still, the links are obviously all the same. Is that right? Tanya, is that right? Awesome. Sweet. Just making sure. I know you're on here, so I'm just like making
It's
sure.
like, I'm trying to
Just trying to find the group. But anyways, yes, we're going to focus on that. And we're super excited to hear from Tanya tomorrow. She is awesome. She's been watching us for a long time here. We're excited to hear from her. And then yes, every Wednesday, Thursday, same link, everything we'll get started off the same bat, and then we'll just follow the same rhythm. But Tanya's going to be facilitating on Wednesdays, and Suze is going to be facilitating on Thursdays. So love you guys so much. Suze is over on Facebook saying yes. We're super excited to hear from her on Thursdays. And yeah, we'll go with that today.
You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Love you guys so much.
See ya.
Bye-bye.